Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Alpha Heavy Gamer, and this is a review on the Su-25 Frogfoot, one of my favorite close air support airframes ever, really. Specifically, this is the Su-25K. This premium jet is an export version of the basic Su-25, and I'm gonna let you know if this jet is worth your hard-earned money. But first, here are my initial thoughts after multiple battles in this thing. The differences between the Su-25s in the game right now, there's one in the tech tree, just the Su-25, and then this one is the premium, the K. But the differences are relatively minor. You only have one air-to-air missile choice with the K, and that's the R60MK, versus in the tech tree version, you can use R60s or R60Ms. Overall, I really like this plane. It fits well at 9.7. If you like fast close air support though, you're going to want to stick to the Su-7BKL, also a 9.7, but the Frogfoot is plenty lethal even if it's a little bit slower. Alright, so let's jump into some details. Alright, so let's talk about the flight performance first. Overall, the flight performance is alright. It's agile for a dedicated close air support plane, and it's pretty fast, much faster than the A-10 for comparison, but it's so damn fast that you will overspeed this jet quickly, and the indication is always flashing, at least for me. Thank goodness for the speed brakes, which are reasonably effective. But the Frogfoot's ability to build speed, it really gets annoying when you're focused on a target. And this definitely requires a skilled hand, because if you don't heed the warnings, you will rip those wings right off. As far as fuel burn, I found that min fuel is pretty appropriate for ground RB and air RB. If you gotta take it into air RB, definitely use min fuel. Carrying 20 minutes, you're probably not going to survive long enough to use all that gas anyway. I know I certainly didn't. For air RB EC though, 20 minutes or maybe even max fuel is probably a better way to go. Alright, so let's talk weapons, because the Frogfoot has no radar at all, but the laser designation system for targeting it is pretty good. And you also get a ballistics computer for the guns, rockets, and the bombs. And the bombs release individually, which is great for versatility. You also have a choice of the KH-25ML missile, the KH-29L missile, or even the S-25L rocket, which is a laser-guided version of the S-25 rocket. But I can only seem to find it on the custom loadout screen. I don't see it in the suspended ordnance. I don't know if that's bugged out or not. So I can only see it when I create a custom loadout, so if that's happening to you as well, please let me know in the comments. That way we can get that reported. Alright, but anyway, let's get back to those rockets again. The S-25O rockets are amazing. Just save yourself the trouble of figuring out other loadouts and just take the rockets. The 58 kilograms of TNT are amazing, and they will make enemy vehicles really pop. I mean, the KH-25ML and the 29L are alright, but you have to guide them all the way in, which can be kind of dangerous, especially with the amount of AAA that's out there. And you can carry up to 8 of the S-25O rockets anyway, so there you go. Alright, so moving on to the 30mm cannon, which is pretty good because it has APHE rounds, so if they penetrate, it is going to be messy. The jet also has those R60MKs I talked about, which are nice, but you only get 2. The best thing about the Su-25K, I think, is the variety and the number of weapons you can carry. You have a good mix of precision and non-precision ordnance, and you can carry enough ordnance to make a sizable impact on the battlefield. Alright, for defensive measures, it's pretty standard for the Su-25K. It has a full suite of countermeasures. You can carry up to 64 flares and 65 chaff, which is really nice. It has an RWR and an engine fire suppression system. The Frogfoot has some titanium armor on the cockpit for the pilot and steel around some of the central fuel tank, but I mean, let me stress it here, that won't save you. But I'll give it this, the plane is pretty tough. I mean, I've been able to tank some AAA and some surface-to-air missiles, but don't count on that. Alright, so let's talk about air RB and ground RB playability. Obviously this plane shines in ground RB, that's the reason why I bought it. To fill a gap at 9.7, and it just really shines there. You can play this in air RB. Your results may vary, your mileage may vary. I mean, you get 2 R60MKs, but you are not going to be outperforming dedicated fighters, and it just is what it is. Alright, so before we wrap this up here, let's talk some pros and cons. So pros first, your air-to-ground weapons load and variety is very good. You can carry lots of weapons on multiple hardpoints, and like I said, you can have a pretty heavy impact on the battlefield if you survive long enough, especially in ground RB. The variety of weapons that you can carry is pretty good. Great mix of non-precision and precision weapons, so pretty excellent there. You have really good air-to-air missiles for self-defense. You also have a great 30mm gun with exceptional ammo. The APHE really makes a mess of things when it penetrates. And also the jet is at 9.7, which is pretty good for the Russian tech tree, as it does fill a gap. Alright, so one last thing. It is a premium jet, so you get all the benefits of a premium jet. So for grinding, it can be pretty good for that. Grinding the aviation tech tree itself, though, with the Su-25K, might be a little difficult. To each his own on that. Alright, so moving on to cons. So you only get 2 air-to-air missiles, and that kind of sucks. You don't get any fire and forget air-to-ground ordnance, which is, that could be a little bit challenging depending on what's going on in the battle. You also have the overspeed issues. This jet is really fast, and you're just going to have to watch that, or you'll rip those wings off like I said before. And I know I said it was a pro, it being at 9.7, but I think it also can be a con, it being at 9.7. And I say that because this BR for Russia is kind of tough. You got the terms at 9.7, you got a lot of one death levers, and your team just can disintegrate around you. You're like, look up, where's team? Team is gone. So just take that into account. So for fun factor, I'm going to give this jet a 8 out of 10 for fun factor. It has a lot of history around it, and it's seen lots of combat, and I'm excited for additional variants of the Su-25. I know there's a variant of the Su-25 that carries the Vickers missile, so we have the potential for even more powerful variants to come out. So overall, should you buy this? I say yes if you really need a 9.7 close air support jet that is versatile and can respond to a changing battlefield. You have great bombs, you have great rockets that hit hard, and you have good manual guided air surface missiles. But there are plenty of other options too. So like I said before, you have the FG7 PKL, you have the Yak-38M at 9.7, or even if you just want to go helicopter only, you have the Mi-24V and the P, or the Ka-29, hardly anyone ever uses that, all at 9.7. And if you go down to 9.3, there are even more options. Alright, so thanks for checking out the video, and please let me know what you guys think about all the stuff I talked about here. Hopefully it can help you make a decision on whether to buy this aircraft or not. And as always, thanks for checking it out. Hit that like button if you liked the video, and I'll see you in a future video.